What could Becca say about it? She had a love-hate relationship with the small town. Sometimes she felt trapped by it and the people who lived there. Other times, she didn't think she could live another day without the help and support they provided. Today was one of those days. It had been almost 1 year. 1 year ago, she had gotten word that Nick, her one and only love, was gone forever. She had tried to keep herself busy ever since the day that he had jumped on the bus that would take him to basic training. After that, he had joined the Special Forces, along with his best friend, Sean. The first year after he had left had been filled with school and part-time work at her sister Sarah's bakery. The second year, she had gone to work full-time, helping her sister out with the business. Time had just flown by after that, until the day she had gotten word that Nick was gone. Then everything had slowed down to a crawl. Every day, it seemed like a chore to get out of bed, dress, and make her way down to the bakery. It took all her willpower just to greet the people as they entered the shop and to smile and act as if life was good. For their part, everyone in town had made a point to be there for her. Every time she would burst into tears at the slightest thing, there was always someone there to hug and comfort her. She had never really felt like she had been alone during her grieving, and she really hadn't. The whole town of Pride had been right there with her. They had lost one of their own, and everyone was feeling the pain. Sarah was married now, and she had moved out of their mother's house. And since their mother had sold her online accounting firm to a company in San Antonio, she was never really at home. Their mother spent half the year in Rio, where she had bought a small condo on the beach. The last time her mother had been home, she had mentioned selling the house and living full-time in the warmth. "It's not like I can come up here and visit once in a while. I mean, once I finally have some grandkids, I might be convinced to come up more often." She had looked at Sarah and Alan when she had said that. The couple had blushed a little, and then Alan had smiled and said, "We're working on it." So most of the time, Becca was left alone in her childhood home, feeling lonely. Half a year after Nick had died, her mother had come home and packed up for the last time. The house had sold more quickly than even she had imagined. To be honest, the place was too big for just her. Besides, she was having a hard time keeping it up all by herself. Her mother had arranged for her to move into the apartment over O'Neill's, the local grocery store, which happened to be right across the street from her sister's bakery, Sarah's Nook. Now, her whole world consisted of 2 blocks, and it was 2 blocks only because she spent a lot of her time at the Golden Oar, the best and only restaurant in town. Her sister was the chef and baker in the family, not her. Sarah had shown her how to bake, and she spent almost every morning at work. Putting together ingredients or taking out warm bread and baked goods was easy, but when it came time to feeding herself, she was clueless. She knew how to heat up those little frozen meals she bought at Patty's downstairs. She had tried to make chicken and rice once, but had almost burned down the kitchen in the process. It had taken her some time to get back in the groove of things after Nick's death. She thought about moving down to Rio with her mother, but after finding out that her mother had a new live-in boyfriend, she had decided against it. Besides, she had never been out of Oregon before, and the thought of hopping on a plane for the long trip scared her, especially after losing Nick in a plane accident. In the last year, she had had more up days than down, thanks to the people in town and her sister. But she didn't think anything or anyone could lift her spirits today. Today was the day she had initially set for their wedding, and the day Nick's best friend, Sean, was returning home from his tour. The town was abuzz about the war hero returning home, but the only thing that kept running through Becca's mind was that it should have been Nick. Not that she wished anything bad would happen to Sean. Just the opposite. Sean had always been there, a few steps behind Nick and her. She was currently sitting in the back seat of Alan's truck as they headed up the hill to go to Sean's homecoming party. There was a fresh plate of Sarah's brownies on her lap, which were still piping hot, warming her legs. Spring was in full swing in Oregon, and she couldn't even look out her window to enjoy her favorite season of the year,